Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gilberto Silva, the Invisible Wall Show. Um, New topic today, very interested one. Me and Team Chase are going to discuss with you, and because we had a couple of last few days, very excited with some announcement we've made. But let me ask him to join the conversation because he's so excited. I will not let him away from all this conversation. Welcome back, Tim.
Hey, mate.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, my friend.
Or should I call you my new employee? So thanks. Always good to talk to you. We've had a couple of breaks off. Last week we had international duty, didn't we? Got called up by the international team. We did an interesting conference based from our houses, but it was in Canada. So we had Shaquille O'Neal on there, founders of Uber. So it was really interesting. Some interesting conversations and stuff.
That's good. It was a very interesting week. I was here in Brazil doing some very nice conversation with some journalists from Collision from Home event, which was really good. I really enjoy it. Very interesting topics. And today we have a very interesting topic to talk in our podcast. But I want you to tell people about what we are going to talk today.
Nice. So the massive announcement that we had last week was that my friend, football legend, Gilberto Silva, has now become part of the TruChallenge family. So cheers, mate. Congratulations.
Yay.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
Yes.
So great to have you on board. And you're not just kind of giving some money and running away. You're going to be an active part of the team, which is, I think, something you quite enjoy. I think we've been working together on quite a lot of projects now, not just the podcast. And kind of what our relationship has kind of grown over the last sort of 4 years, really, hasn't it? And at the heart of it is our core beliefs is family first before everything. It's the most important thing to us. And then what football can do and sports in general can do for the world. And that's basically what our platform TruChallenge does. So we're going to be changing the world, aren't we?
Well, it was great. It's great to be part of the Challenge family because in the last few weeks, few months, basically, me and you talking very much about the projects and things that you guys were doing before me and things that can be done now with my support in the team. I hope I can help you guys a lot and grow up the platform to challenge because the job you guys were doing, it's amazing. As we start to talk in a few days ago, TruChallenge, the home of sports challenge.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm talking to people. I'm really excited, very happy to join you guys and be part of the TruChallenge family. And it's a new challenge. As a sportsman, I cannot neglect any challenge in front of me. I need to absorb them, understand how does it work, and see what's the best way to move forward and improve my skills. I know this is will be challenge for me, but I'm very excited. Very excited about join the team. When I spoke to the family, everyone was very, very happy, very excited, and very supportive, which is very important. Because, as you mentioned, for us, the business is also connected to the family. The core of everything we haven't spoke in the last few months, in the last few years since we've met. And from now on, being close to you guys will be a privilege to me. And let's bring all the sports people to the platform to have the challenge. I'll challenge everyone.
There you go, mate. So our platform. So I think what a good place to start. So this week we'll be talking about the fans. There's lots of things going on with the fans at the moment, both good, bad, and I think this is a great opportunity to talk about all of that because now our platform is TruChallenge, is a fan engagement platform. So our kind of slogan or motto is we believe in making the fans the stars. And our platform when they was planned to get closer to their stars and their heroes like they've never done before. And what's going on in the world at the moment, obviously football's back, which is brilliant, but no one can go to a game. Now, what can fans do at the moment? They can see their players and their heroes on social media. And they can watch them on TV. They can't do anything else. So I think what would be good to talk about is the journey that you've had in terms of fan engagement, because obviously the last few months working together, I can see the change in you when it comes to the fans, from talking about what you're going to post on your social media to how you can engage with your fans better. So the idea, what you do on Thursday is you go live on Instagram and you invite fans to talk to you, but lots of people do that. But you went one stage further, and this is your idea that you have, not mine. Will you and I talk, and fans can ask me, give me a question to ask you. But if fans have the courage to go live, you kick me off, and the fans go live with you on Instagram. And the look on the faces of every single fan that joins you. I tried to take a snapshot, a screen grab on my phone every time that you connect, because you can see their face going, shit, it's Joao Silva, and it's incredible. And that's that bit, you know. And I sent the photo to them, the screen grab to them, and all of them post it without exception. Every single one of them post it, and I think that is the sort of thing that fan engagement needs to be. It's a good start, and I think fans want more of that type of stuff. That, because if you see, like we had that 2 weeks ago, we had that young boy David Hennell, I think his name was, 13-year-old boy, and he went, "Oh my God, it's Gilberto Silva." The next thing he did, gave you loads of questions, was really hammering you like a journalist. What do you think about Mikel Arteta? What's he doing wrong? He was quite, like, I won't say aggressive, but assertive. And he
was very direct in the questions,
because
he knew exactly what he wants to know about my opinion about Arteta, the team, and the other questions he asked me. It was really interesting. And for me, the great thing about it, doing this interaction with the fans, when I bring them to make the questions, to ask me the questions in the live show, is to see their reaction. When I see their face, their reaction, this is amazing. It's like, oh wow, this is what means to people. This kind of reaction, it means a lot. But for me also, it's great. Because sometimes we don't really understand, how the people have the perception about us. But I have seen the last couple of weeks doing this show, this live show, and inviting the fans to ask the question themselves. It's been amazing to see their reaction.
Yeah, it really is fantastic, and especially times at the moment when it's not that fans aren't thought of as important. They just can't be at the football matches for their own safety of everyone. Not just the fans, but the players, the people that are helping in the stadium and things. So it's really important, I feel, to have that type of start of an engagement, which I think is really good. So let's start right from the beginning. So when you first became a professional footballer, what was fan engagement? So obviously that was maybe 25 years ago now. Was it basically a photo,
basically nothing,
signing a shirt?
Exactly. Basically nothing. Because being the training center, he started in Brazil when the fans had a chance to stay close to the players, was when a few guests went to the training ground, and after the training session, they had a chance to grab some of the players they liked, to have a photo, an autograph, and T-shirt signed. This was basically what they've got. And sometime outside the stages, when we play the game and they have a chance to do the same, having a photo, autograph, sign, T-shirt sign. This was it at the beginning. This was just a few years ago.
Quite a few years
but
ago.
Just a few years ago when I began. But then, the last few years, things changed a lot. And then, of course, I think that the other way the fans have a chance to understand a little bit about what was going on in the training center, about also about the club, was about the newspapers
Mm.
or watching the TV programs, talk about their teams and so on. My team here in Brazil, America, is considered the third club in the state. They have a very little space on TV.
Yeah.
The guys, the journalists, didn't talk much about them. Even the newspaper, if the other clubs had a big page, one page for them, America have like less than a half, much less.
Three lines.
Yeah, just a few lines, and this was it. Was not enough, for any of them.
Mm.
But as we can see nowadays, things has changed a lot. I think for good in terms of fun engagement because they can follow their idols. They can see what they are doing. Sometimes in the club, sometimes their personal life with their families, friends, and other things they may do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what was it like towards the end of your career when maybe you were at Panathinaikos or back in Brazil? What was the fan engagement like then? Because obviously you had social media then. I know it was very early stages. But what was fan engagement like then?
When I moved to Greece, was basically when I started to use social media. We had one quite old social media here in Brazil called Orkut,
Okay.
but did not last long. This was, wow, I think 2000, 2000 something, 2001. Then I moved to England, and but basically I started in Greece. Why I start to use on that time Twitter? Because moving to Greece, nobody could watch any games from Brazil. I moved to Greece back in 2008, and on that time, the Brazil team was preparing for South Africa World Cup, and after 6 years at Arsenal, moving to Panathinaikos, I had to find a way how to connect with people, how to give them some information about my daily basis, even some, let's say, very simple things about grabbing a coffee, a snack, something like that. Sometimes I used to chat and put some pictures there. Hey, come on, invite people. Hey, come on, what you had for breakfast, or are you ready for a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, something like that, And the response was amazing because everyone jumped in the conversation. I had to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But also, I start to talk about the games. Next weekend we have a game, because for them to have some information of Greek football was not so easy. But the hardest thing was because of the language. Even for me, being there for 3 years, I didn't learn, to speak the language. I didn't learn the language. Imagine for them to make the translation. I'm not so sure now if on that time the Google translator worked well. But
so I'm having a coffee when it translates, or you're having a shit or something like that.
But many times, people ask me through Twitter, "What's going on there? What's going on there?" Was a kind of way I found, to interact with the people, also to give some information, because I knew speaking there through Twitter, the journalists who could see what I was doing somehow become curious about it.
Okay. So how important do you think the clubs take social media then?
I think
wasn't really much. There wasn't really a way for them to do it. Like you said, all it was an invite to a game, meet the players after the game, come to the training ground, meet the players after the training ground. That was it. Before social media, there wasn't really any way of engaging with the fans, was there?
No, it's not much. Before social media was not much. I don't know if the exact word is creativity. It was the way they were used to work, different, sometimes call the guests and sometimes send an email. mail, subscribe in their website, something like that. But then with social media, I think it make things a lot easier in terms of the communication, because also even if you see the way the fans talk about the clubs, the publicity they make for the clubs is massive. Because they take pictures and they upload it, and about moments. I think for the fans, it's about taking a good moment and share it. What they love, what I have seen and observed. I'm not an expert person in terms of social media, but what I have seen is that people they want to engage with the others through the moments they are. For example, they go to a football game, they want to take pictures before they used to send to their families, or let's say imagine before the mobile, take a picture. You had to take your camera, and then you take the camera, go to a shopping, have it printed. But now they take a picture. They never printed it again, but they save it somewhere on their mobile somewhere, and straight away what they do is send to a family member, to a friend, or put in their social media. This is they want to share the moments they have. This is for fun engagement, when they are in the sports event. This is what clubs must pay attention to.
Yeah,
and this is what they start to improve as well.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where we come in, is this piece of fan engagement. So, for example, you've done a piece like the piece you did with the partner at Arsenal, with their wine partner, where you dressed up as John from Chile. Is it John?
Yeah. Then I changed, because I said, oh, come on, John from Chile is not going to work out. I changed to Carlos. Yeah, then I changed to Carlos. It's more South America than.
Yeah, maybe Juan would have been better.
Yeah, but it was good,
But then, you were talking to the fans. You put basically what your bird did is he put a massive wig on, glasses, made a funny geeky kind of voice, and was a waiter in the Arsenal, one of the restaurants before the game. And you basically went around and you were asking their opinion on certain players. People were sitting there to eat. And then you said, what do you think about Gilberto Silva? And they went, oh, yeah, he's a great player. And then they went, are you Gilberto Silva? So that is fan engagement. There's no, my opinion is there's no like absolute thing for engaging with fans. Like you post this on social media, or you do this, or you do this. The beauty of Facebook, the beauty of fan engagement is that it can be anything. You dressing up, they're never going to forget that. And the fact that Arsenal then use that content on their website and they use it on their social media, that's engaging with the fans as well. Not only the fans that you talk to, but actually them go, oh, Gilberto, yeah, I remember him. Do you remember he scored his first goal for us? Do you remember when we won? Do you remember when I met him? It brings back all these memories. And I think fan engagement is about moments. As much as life is about moments as well, right? I think sometimes you get caught up in making, I was thinking about this last night because my oldest son was being a bit difficult yesterday, as the politest way of putting it. And I think parents get so caught up at the moment in being this perfect parent all the time, creating all these wonderful memories, these wonderful activities for everything. And in fact, that's not life. Life is about sometimes being mundane, sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's wonderful, sometimes it's a bit sad, sometimes it's a bit shit. But it's the moments that the children remember of them staying up late. I'm going to sneeze, hang on. Excuse me. It's about these moments. And it's the same as about fan engagement. That's what fan engagement is about. It's about these moments that you then remember for the rest of your life.
This is true. This is true. And when I was still play football, many occasions when I have to travel somewhere, and or when I have to do some event, for in sports nowadays, and then I have sometimes some of these events you have a massive audience waiting to see sports people because they know somebody will be there, and then somebody stopped me, asking autograph or asked to take a picture. I always stop to everyone and take as much time as I can. because I know this moment will be very special for them. They'll never forget it,
Yeah.
and they may not have another opportunity
Yeah.
to see me face to face. And when they come out, I would not expect to see you. I
Yeah.
said, "Wow, now you are seeing me." You know, well, can I take a picture? Of course, as many you can,
Yeah.
because this is important to give, this moment, this opportunity for them. This is an opportunity they may never have it again. And straight away, what is funny nowadays, about engagement, because they put on their social media and mark me, and I can see the pictures, a few minutes later.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great because they feel happy with everything, the way I spoke to them, the way the conversation went. It's great. I really love these opportunities.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant, and I think you described to me quite well, because it was one of the first times we actually met up for lunch, and we were having a drink in your favourite cocktail place in London, and you and I were talking, and we were basically, I was going through something in my personal life that you'd been through, and you were kind of giving me some advice. It was quite kind of private and personal stuff that we were talking about, and one of the waiters came over and interrupted us and went, "Did you used to play for Arsenal?" And he went, yeah, I think so. I went, "What was your name?" I'm like, "So you interrupted this conversation, you don't even know who he is." And then I said, I asked you, I said, "Does that something sometimes annoy you?" And he went, "Do you know what, it doesn't?" Because he goes, "I could see him waiting there, and he was just building up the courage to come and ask for a photo or come to talk to me. He might never get this opportunity to talk to another footballer in the rest of his life. And he's sitting there going, do I go and say something? Do I go and say something?" And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to go and do it now." So it's nothing to do with him being rude, everything to do with him being nervous. And I think that was actually really, really, obviously I rarely get asked for autographs or photos. So I think that's a great attitude to have on someone, knowing that this moment is a massive moment for them.
It's important just to give something back, because sometimes what I do is put myself in their position, to taking the courage to do this. And nowadays, having kids, sometimes we go to a few concerts. Have been a few concerts in my hometown, in the towns nearby, and some of the artists, the musicians, they really like, and a few times I had to be the dad to ask for a picture for them. Sometimes it's quite annoying for me because I say, "Come on, I need to do this?" "Yeah, Dad, please, come
Oh,
on, let's
bless.
go." But then I go there, and I see how happy they feel, and then I'm in the other position, helping my kids do whatever I can to make them feel happy. Is I see myself in the other side when people ask me something for themselves or for their kids or somebody else. It's about about giving things, to people. If you just want to take something, it's not good. It's important to be a giving person. When you give, the universe helps you. People understand. Even sometimes, because a few moments when people ask me something on the street or in an event, unfortunately, I have to say no a few times because we have a schedule. But they really understood the way I spoke to them, explaining, very short. Only I need to go because we have time, in a few minutes. And then if
And
you have
you're
an
always running
opportunity,
late, aren't you?
a few times, I still a little bit fast. I can get on, be there on time.
Nice.
But it's important to be a given person because and share these moments with them. And because we mentioned before, I don't know if they will have this chance again. And what is great sometimes, because people are many occasions, they were so genuine in the way they spoke to me. and then in the end, you feel grateful to stop there, to speak to them, because they say some really nice words to you that make your day.
Mm, exactly. So, can you remember when you were a kid, or even now? Is there someone that you could meet where you would be a fan and be nervous? Do you know what I mean? So, is there someone, or even when you were younger?
I think I would be nervous to meet, for example, Ayrton Senna, the
Okay.
pilot of Formula One,
Yep.
because or on that time, for example, to meet Pele,
Mm-hmm.
I would be very nervous. Even today, if I have a chance to meet him, face to face, I would feel very nervous.
Mm.
Because Pele,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, as a kid, growing up in sports, when I start to watch Formula One and see and watch Ayrton Senna, he became a worldwide idol,
Oh, I know who
for
Ayrton
the
Senna
fun.
was. I used to
Yeah,
watch him.
exactly for the fun of the sport. Even though if you didn't like very much about Formula One, but once you watch a few of the race, and people start talk about him and the way he behaves and the way he used to run, you start to enjoy about him, to
Mm.
like him.
Yeah. So, what was he? What did he mean to Brazil? Because obviously he was one of the best Formula One racer for a long time,
Yeah.
and obviously sadly passed away in a race. What
Yeah.
did he mean for Brazil?
My opinion,
Was he as
he's
big as a
the
football? Was he as big as like a football team?
he's similar to a big idol in football, similar to Pele,
Really?
for us. Yeah, yeah, similar to Pele, Ronaldo, all these guys, all the sportsmen. Because everyone adore him. Everyone really love him, because he became because I remember watching the race when he was going to win. In the big TV here in Brazil, they used to they have a music that reminds him. Seems like they made this song for him,
Right.
and and then put a very good expression in terms of Brazil's representatives
Mm-hmm.
in the Formula One. And then, when he left the car, lifts the flag, the Brazilian flag, few times after cross the line, just take the flag outside of the car and raise it. Was nice gesture.
Mm.
Then you feel, oh, Brazil is there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he was running in any country in Europe, but then win the race, we see ourselves there. He represents us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's huge. I remember what a massive star he was. Very sad that he's obviously no longer with us.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to fan engagement. So, so there's one story that I tell about fan engagement. I think kind of got you understanding how powerful the TruChallenge platform can be. Was a young girl called Becca. So we put a challenge out with a young YouTuber called Kill Skills. I think he was 9 years old, and this is our first ever challenge. And it was you had to do. It was 3 weeks, and you had to do one challenge a week for 3 weeks. And the prize was winning £100 to spend on a pair of football boots, a football from the Champions League, and a football shirt of your choice. And we got through. Hundreds of kids took part from around the world. And we narrowed it down to a little girl called Becca, who was from north of England, Blackburn, I think, and a little boy called Jackson from Wales, who I think was 6. And these kids were amazing, not because they were 6 and because they were 9. If they were adults and they could do these tricks, you would have been amazed. But like this little girl Becca did one trick where she was doing some keepy ups with the basketball, and then did a few look around the worlds and some keepy ups, flicked it over the crossbar, ran to the other side, and carried on doing the tricks. And we're like, this is amazing. So we couldn't choose between Becca and Jackson was the other kid's name. So we said, right, we'll put it to a vote to social media, and looks like we're asking them to choose a winner. But we knew, I basically called the parents and said, look, we're going to double the prize, but we're going to give you some publicity. That video of us people choosing between the two of them. It's got 345,000 votes on two kids that nobody'd ever heard of, which is obviously incredible for them. But when I called the mum from Becca's mum and said, look, just to let you know that we're going to double the price. So Becca's basically won. We're really impressed with her. Please give her congratulations. She kind of started crying, and I kind of asked her, "Can you tell me a bit more about why you're kind of crying? If that's not too personal." She went, "You won't understand what this means to me and my family. So, do you mind me asking?" She said, "Becca's autistic, and she's blind in one eye, and she has some other health issues as well. The way she communicates with the world is with her football. So she goes to school and she's holding it. She goes to wherever to go shopping, she's holding her football. It's her kind of security blanket, and the way that she kind of, it's her way she gets to the outside world because of her autism." She said that because now that she's won this prize, it's given her such validation and proudness that we could never give her. So that, when we started TruChallenge, we wanted to make kids feel happy because they get to do a challenge with their star, and their stars post their video on social media and things. We never even considered that this could be an opportunity to change children's lives like this. Now imagine if, let's say, you did a challenge and someone from, I don't know, a homeless kid from India won the challenge. Imagine imagine how much positivity that would change to that little kid's life. That Gilberto Silva selected this little kid from Brazil, India or Brazil or Argentina or Rome or England or wherever. It's such a great vehicle that we didn't even consider could happen on our platform. This happens purely organically and naturally. And it seems very cliche, but if you can change one child's life like that, everything's worthwhile, whether the TruChallenge is successful or failed. I'm so proud that we've managed to change that little girl's life.
It's amazing. This is amazing. This what what I think as well. As long as we can provide happiness for people, change somebody's life in a certain way, and in a very positive way. This is this moment nobody can take away from us, and this is what we look for in this with this platform. This when we spoke about TruChallenge, and was really important for me to understand all this process you guys have been through over the past years, and to give my contribution to the fan engagement, to give them moments that are really important for their lives. Because I remember when I was a kid, I didn't have an opportunity like kids from today to have a picture of something and send to your friends. But in my mind, I have all the pictures. And then what I have an opportunity, especially with my kids, to tell them the stories. And the stories to engage with them with the stories. I tell them about my childhood, about what I had been through, what I had to do when I was a kid, when I grew up, play football on the streets. But then nowadays, things is easy, and then we can have a conversation. Then we start do some dancing, engage each other, and then suddenly I see some picture of me. They share in the group of what family WhatsApp, and then who took this picture? Who took made this video, this funny video? I say, hey, come on, keep it quiet, secret.
Not on social media.
I'm not dance pretty well. We can do another one.
Is this a good chance to talk about you singing at that concert you did?
Yeah.
It's a good job you can play football.
Exactly.
So it's really proud that you kind of joined us, mate. And I think not only your connections are incredible, but actually you as a person and as I class as a very good friend of mine now. Having you as a counsel to someone I could talk to about things is great. But also, I think your thought process is changing, and I think you've grown since we've been working together. And I think your not attitude, but your thoughts are now changing to more aligned about engaging with fans, I think, now as well. I can really see that the difference since we first started doing the podcast, even in November, how much you've changed since then.
For sure. It changed, the way I think, the way I behave towards, to understand better fan engagement. Because before, because I always been very quiet and very shy person. Even playing football, always, let's say, people did not pay much attention about me. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I want to be, hide, just do my job and that's it.
Mm.
But now I understand to keep being part of things I believe, things I still do in terms of football, sports, whatever. Nowadays, fun engagement can be a powerful source for me to support me in the business I do, in the things I want to express to help others. And for example, I work with the players nowadays. It's amazing because we share stories. I explain them a lot of things, and then in the platforms, when I have a chance to say something in the moments they may need to listen about a question they may have in terms of football, about their careers, and what they need to do to progress or to improve, what is important for a football player. When they see me, speaking to the platforms, I can touch more people than just speaking to an individual.
Yeah.
And this is what the platforms can, has been helping me. But also, you're not too shy to talk to people through social media because when you are a little bit shy or introvert, it's quite hard until you understand how to engage. I remember when you talked to me, oh, let's start a podcast. I said, not so sure. I was thinking about it, what's the reason I've started podcast. But let's have a go because I'm here in London. I need to find something to be busy.
Yeah.
Let's start. But then you start to enjoy it, you start to think about, I start to think about when I was playing, to see the preparation, the journalist or the cameraman, the photographer had to, they have to do to make an interview with me. I said, oh my God, why I didn't learn this about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This is great, give you a different perception. And then, being work from outside in football, sorry, let me do it again. Just work in football, but on a different way, is an opportunity for me to engage better with people, not only in the social platform, but also because we talk all the time and sometimes too much. It's improving my communication. This is it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's been fantastic, mate. I'm really looking forward to working with you more. So I've just realised that we're already late for our Instagram live. So I think that's a good opportunity for us to kind of end this week's chat there. But we've got some interesting guests lined up. So we'll release them next week. Is the first guest for the podcast, and it's your old mate Cleberson.
Be great.
So
that'll be great.
It would be good to have another person to talk to.
Yeah, that'll be great. Be great to have Cleberson. Look forward for it, my friend.
Nice.
It's great. Let's keep engaged with people with TruChallenge. Very soon we'll start a new challenge. You birth a TruChallenge.
There you go.
Let's see if you can make it.
Nice. Cool. All right, mate.
All right. Take care, my friend. All the best.